Hi, it is the human operating system time. So I often get the questions from our Wing Chun friend asking me, why is it that Wing Chun information is so diversified and sometimes it's even confusing because one really doesn't know what is the facts because it's so diversified and so confusing. Now, actually, it is not just Wing Chun. The entire traditional Chinese martial art went through different era since 500 years ago. So today I like to share with you what I found out. Okay, so I hope that after this you can see what is the issue. Okay, why it's become like this today. Now we want to start on 1560. 1560 era is a very important era for traditional Chinese martial arts because at 1560 era General Qi Guang reorganized and doing a lot of things to regroup, to reform the traditional Chinese martial art with his team and with his team, which consists of generals and so forth. Now, at this time, at the General Qi Guang time, it not only deal with the technology, General Qi Guang also dealing with the qualifications or how teacher need to teach and so forth. Okay, which is at his time we call it 师道, the way of the teacher. Okay. Now, so at this time, he have for example this teaching the teacher what is going to teach and how is it. It is collect in his writing, around 1560 writing, okay? And of course, there is, what we today we can see is this book, okay, from General Qi Guang, okay, at this time, okay, and then it comes down to say you have it evolved down, and then you have like the white crane document, say in the 1600, okay, and then you have what do you call it, the praying mantis document, okay, the praying mantis document around this time at the, say, going down to 1600, 1660s, those kind of time. Okay, so you have all this document. Now, and something happened at this time, okay, even though people have those documents, because at 1660 the Ming dynasty is gone, so Qing replaced the Ming dynasty. Okay, so there's a war here, battle and all, whatever. Okay, now of course many of those traditions is never stop. Okay, it goes on. Okay, so we know at 1780s, okay, based on the Shaolin classic of the late 1660 or something, that is this book, okay, over here. Okay, so that's what it is now. And also there are the medicine books, the pressure point strike, the medicine, the theta books, okay, which is from the 1500s, okay, so they pass down this way, okay. So to make it clear here, make it easier to write, to read here, is that you have the 1560s. This is the general Qi Ji Guang time. So you have your martial art books, your medicine books, and then you know, passing down, and then this is 1660, and then you have white crane, okay, and different style books there, you know, which we can track there until today, okay. Now, so over 1660s, then it become the Ming dynasty, become Qing dynasty, okay, become the Qing dynasty. And then over here, 1780, you can see the Shaolin book, and I show you here. There's this one, okay. And so you have all different documents, okay, and it is passing down, including the, say for example, the books from the Ermei, okay. So this writing is the Wing Chun inch power, okay. It is based on Ermei. That is how the Wing Chun inch power technology is in that book, okay. And also the tearing hand, like in the 1850s, Xiu Lim Tao said, you know, which is can using for counter the kicks or grappling, is here, okay, in the same book. Okay, this is for using for the legs, and I can be using with the one side with the handling the elbow. Okay, so this thing exists. Okay, and of course the Hermes Zhuang books. So all this book exists. Okay, now this is it get to the Qing dynasty. Okay, now after Qing dynasty, at 1930, the Chinese at that time start to see problem. Particularly, there are three types of problem there. The first thing is mystify the thing, it turned into magic. The second thing is it make it like a stage performance, you know, dance like. The third thing is like it make it like, oh, my style is the best, okay, I'm the proper one, okay. So there are three things there are three problems at 1930s, and at that time people like Ma Li Tang like to make a reform on Chinese martial arts, 1930s, okay. Then you say, well, Hendrik, do you have proof, evidence? Well, this is the evidence. Okay, so it does happen because at 1930, people already found out that there are problems there where it mystifies the thing magic, okay, and then become like playing in the state performance, okay, dance like, and then it is, oh, my lineage is better, the truth, okay, my style is the truth. So at that time, So I show you that, you know, in the picture, and actually I can show you this. At 1930s, people already wrote book. This is from Ma Li Tang. Okay, at that time, they want to reform. And then I can share with you, even at that time, they already research into, say, this is the Western way of breathing. This is the Jiu-Jitsu, the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. And it actually, they're doing research for that. This is pro. Okay, so in 1930, there are this pro who say, man, enough is enough. Okay, all this mysterious stuff, all this my lineage, my style is the best style, and the what do you call it? Putting is like looking good, you know, demo and those kind of stuff. They want to just reform it. Because Chinese martial art has to have two things. One is be able to strengthen the body. The second is be able to fight. Because at that time, 1930, they made the challenge from the Western and Japanese also. That's why there are a group of people who like to reform. And at that time, actually, it break into two parties. Okay, one party want to go this way. Okay, forget about all the lineage, your system, your style, your magic, your dance like of thing. They want to go into be able to strengthen the body, make the body healthier, and be able to fight. So there are two group of martial artists. There is debating and all kinds of stuff. Now, that's 100 years ago. Okay, today is what? 2019, right? The issue is right after this, the Chinese get into the what? Get into the inner war. And then the Japanese invasions and Second World War, and then you go through what? Cultural revolutions, okay? So you have 100 years of gap there, okay? So if we mark it, if we mark it 1560s, and then this is 1930s, and then this is today, you know that, you know, the General Qi Guang have his thing, and then this is Ming turned into the Qing dynasty, and then there's Opium War here, and this is 1850, and Wing Chun is here at the Opium War. And then by 1930, somebody say, hey man, no, you always see the challenge from the Japanese judoka, jiu-jitsu people to China, the Western boxer. We need to reform. But then you get all kinds of inner war, and then the cultural revolution, and then today we just 2019. So what happened is, right now, most people have a problem to understand what is going on here with the Chinese martial art. So what happened is, because of this this Opium War here, okay, the Opium War, this is 1850 until today, the Chinese culture is fading, and not too many people study the classical Chinese, understand what the heck's going on with the Chinese culture, and get into the Western and so forth, so forth. People actually no idea what's going on. Okay, so when there's no idea what is going on, guess what happened? So if we mark it here, So because this is a void from here, okay, this is Opium War time at 1840. We today, the story we say, hey, you know, Chi Sim is from Shaolin, okay, Mui invented this Wing Chun and all kinds of stuff, or Zen. Guess what? It doesn't fit what happened here anymore. It doesn't fit the whatever is in the history and whatever the document there. This is mostly village story sometimes, and somebody invented it. Say if today I say that, you know, you have a mind power, then tomorrow the entire world say what Hendrik said, mind power, real mind power. But wait a minute, this thing have never said anything like Hendrik said there's a mind power there. It doesn't exist. And so over here we call about, oh, that's Zen. Okay, Zen this, Zen that. But you know what? Most people have no idea what is Zen. So now we are in the 2019. Of course it's going to be confusing. Of course it's going to be very diversified. Why? Because it's no longer follow what it is. Okay? Now, there is a problem thus, because now the Chinese is inventing their stuff here, while no longer following what the General Qi Shi Guang and all this pioneer doing so stuff. Guess what? The Okinawan, the Korean, they keep this part of thing. So their martial art going down, following this. Well, you want proof? This is back from Korea, which is an extension of General Qi Shi Guang's. Okay, so they inherit the Chinese, the Qi Shi Guang's technology, and they preserve it. Okay, now. So this is from Okinawa. So this is from Okinawa. Okay? Now, we know this thing. We know this techniques. Okay, we know this techniques is Keizang, is from the 1850s. The 1850s, Xu Lintao said the third section, the third part of the second part, all have this Keizang. Is there. So now, you got a problem. The Japanese, the Korean, have whatever inherit and have this the information, while the Chinese over here create whatever it is. And who knows what it is? Okay, I can go watch Hong Kong movie and start create my own thinking. But they never go track it. The Okinawan, the Korean go track it back, trace it back. So that's why sometimes, you know, like in one of the video I said, you said the soft art. I said soft art is the sticking body art. Like judo, jiu-jitsu, they're sticking to the body. The Wing Chun is short strike. They're sticking body, short strike. So the sticking body is the soft art. Okay, we just stick the body like the judo, jiu-jitsu. However, Wing Chun is a short strike, meaning that it's not focused on the throwing, the locking. Even it has, because you know it is a closed body art, is a soft art, but it is focused on the striking. So the soft art of Wing Chun If you want to know exactly what it is, you look at the Japanese art. And then you know what it is because they follow the general Qi Guang and the ancient Chinese. And for today, if you ask about soft art, people say, well, you have to be like Tai Chi, slow and soft. What the heck are you talking about? Okay? So you have all this book here and you can record, and then 1930, people already know, hey man, this is trouble if you do not make a reform. So are we going to keep inventing something without tracking this? Okay? So this is one of the reality, okay? We like it or not, history is this way. Okay? Now, another part of thing is we have to be careful. Okay? Remember in the 1560 when the General Qi Guang talking about the teaching, the Shi Dao, the way of teaching, the way of the teacher, the Shifu way. Well, I'd like to show you one thing too. Remember just now I showed you about this Qi Guang Shi Dao stuff? Do you know which website this come from? Look closely, it's Karipo here. And if you look closely, this is Japanese language. Okay? So the Japanese keep it, okay, and they investigate on it, they research on it. What? That's the reality, okay? So, in 1560, General Qi Guang have said already, you know, when you teach, you have to have this qualifications, standard, and so forth, so forth. It is like what? The closer thing we can think about is like one must be like today's university's professor in teaching. So there's two parts of it, okay? So in the teaching there's two parts. The first one is the 尊师重道. The second is so in teaching there are two parts. The first part is one must respect the teacher following the instruction. Okay, respect the teacher meaning following the instruction. It's just like you go to university, you study, you better follow your instructor, what the instructor want you to do, because you go there and learning. Okay, that's the student toward the teacher. And another part is the teacher has to prove to the student based on evidence. In this term, 依法不依人 is you follow the Dharma, you don't follow the person. So meaning that the instructor, the teacher, the Sifu have to prove to you that this is by evidence what it is. Okay? The Dharma is following what it is. Now, guess what happened? So this is 1560s, maybe get into 1850s, the good old time of the Chinese. When it start to go down here, this thing do not follow anymore. And then it become what? The Sifu do not have to prove to you anything anymore. So it's Sifu say. Sifu say whatever is Sifu say. Okay? So the Sifu doesn't have to prove to you. The Sifu just like the reference of the universe. Okay? That's where the lineage, many lineage start. Okay? This Sifu said this, Sifu said that. Then the student here say, if you have the student 1, student 2, student 3, and they are going out to say, well, this is what my Sifu said. Well, whether the Sifu don't have to prove themselves that, oh, this is what it is come from. Okay, this is, well, my Sifu said that. Okay. And then if the Sifu pass away, guess what? And then the student will say, you know what, this is what the Sifu teach me. And then every student will be different. Because there's no data, nothing a reference to base on. Or in the Qi Guang, you have to have a reference. Okay, it's parallel. Now you lost this, and then you become this, and then I can be say, well, I'm the son of such and such grandmaster. So why my father tell me this, so I'm the grandmaster. When I get into this, okay. And then I can start with I think, I believe, my interpretations. You can have your interpretation. I have my interpretations. Well, if you look at it, is it still Chinese martial arts? No, it is no longer that. Guess what? Didn't the Chinese clearly write down what it is and who, what counter what, those kind of stuff? Didn't the Chinese General Qi Guang write down the key points? But we don't have to follow that, because we don't have to follow this anymore, okay? It's just Hendrix say this, okay? You follow, okay? Because you're Hendrix's son or Hendrix's closest teacher's pet. So it is at this era. It's not just only Wing Chun. You look around, it become like that. So everybody, so this might fighting this might fighting this, and you can all kinds of mess. Well, but you look into the Japanese and the Korean, they still follow the tradition. And this is no longer tradition. Right? So for example, right? As I show you, this is the inch power of the inch punch of Wing Chun. In 1850, if you look at the entire set of the 1850 Xiu Lian Tao, it doesn't have sun punch. It doesn't have the sun punch. It used that techniques in that book. It is an inch power. But today, if I go out there doing a demo and I say this is inch power, tomorrow everybody will follow, and then say this is the inch power of Wing Chun. You must be kidding, okay? So it is like the Chinese history, right? 1850s General Qi Guang say, well, enough is enough. I need to reform this. 1930, the martial artists over there saying that, hey, enough is enough. We'll stop this this magic stuff and all this kind of stuff. We want to reform. So as today, you see, for example, the Wing Chun, right? You don't go to understand what is Rou mean, okay, the soft mean. You go to Tai Chi, you go to all kinds of stuff. Why don't anybody bother to go look into what Qi Guang and all the Shaolin short strike stuff is writing that? Well, is Wing Chun still short strike art? Well, why don't we ask the questions, right? Well, the document is there. So this is why the entire thing. So that's why my agenda on this human operating system is that don't follow anybody's I believe interpret. Pull out your evidence. You want to get this alive again. Otherwise, it's for example, right? The general Qi Guang and all these things passed down like the white crane and this Okinawa Day things. It has been used in battlefield. White crane of Fujian is in battlefield and so forth, right? Wing Chun is in battlefield in the 1850s. Qi Guang is in battlefield in the 1850s. 1560s. Well, you don't want to do that anymore. You know what you quote. Oh, this is a Taiji. What do you call it? Taiji classic. Okay, you have this special force. Well, the entire world, Qi Guang already tell you in the fighting who is fast, who win. It's about momentum, and then you suddenly have this Taiji classic saying that as soon you can have this fudging and all this kind of stuff, and the old guy can defeat the younger guy, and then the slow and can defeat the fast. What the heck are you talking about? Have those things proven in the battlefield? Well, just so today look at the jiu-jitsu and see who is in MMA. Is those fudging stuff is in MMA, or the jiu-jitsu which is now evolved to BJJ in MMA? Look at it, okay? So I'm speechless when I found this thing out, because me, like you guys too, when I was young, I heard from this Sifu tell me about Mui, tell me about this Jisim, Zen and everything. But when I go to the Zen, the real Zen patriarch, the real Qigong guy, all this expert, I found out that it is not what I heard. Okay? And so it's like watching a movie. At the beginning, you think it's like this, but at the end of the movie, you say, oh, shoot. So what I think is right is actually wrong. It is not like that. Right? So that is the reason I wrote this. That is the reason I wrote all these books. I wrote all these books with all this this evolution and so forth. Because we really don't know how to continue on. If we keeping, I think so, I believe so, my Sifu tell me so, and it's like an argument of religions, okay? At the end of the region, to prove that God exists is like, oh, my teacher tell me that God exists, thus God exists. But in the general Qigong, it's not. You need to prove what it is. Even the Zen Buddhism, you have to prove it with your experience in Samadhi and what Buddha is teaching. You don't just say, well, I'm the grandmaster of the Zen, I enlightenment, I can say whatever I want. No. Okay. So this is what it is. Okay, I know that today I'm saying this, probably gonna shock a lot of people, but the thing is that this is the facts. Okay, you're gonna face it, and you can see there is no accident that like the jiu-jitsu and the Japanese karate, they are systematic and they are effective and they are how do you say that, evolve and grow. That is no surprise for that, because they follow like an engineering school. Well, with this kind of stuff, you have your lineage, tomorrow I have my lineage, and this lineage and that lineage, which is based on what? Based on I think so. My father is so. How the world is this type of stuff is going to facing like the jiu-jitsu and so forth. You can, because whatever here is no longer whatever the traditional Chinese martial arts. It's a creations, a modern creations. So at one point, actually, when I was studying Chinese culture, I was asking one expert scholar in Chinese culture. I said, well, you know, we have a 5,000 years of culture. And my teacher told me, he said, Henrik, no, you only have 30 years of culture. I said, what do you mean? So he told me, you look at the thing seriously. Is this the same with whatever the ancestor teach, or this is the modern creations? Well, you have cultural evolutions. After cultural evolution, what you do? You create your wushu. Is that Chinese martial arts? Is that traditional Chinese martial arts? And then the people who really have heart, and you need to know there's a lot of people, old generations, who really like to preserve things, but because of the turmoil and the inner war and all this thing going on, they don't have educations. And that is very sad part. They will not be able to understand what is going on top. So today when you talk about Chinese martial art, that's why very rare people talk about General Qi Ji Guang, General Tang Sun Zhi, and all this classic is all going to all this magic stuff and those stuff. Well, is that new? No, it's not new. 100 years ago, 1930s, people already know it. It's a dead end. Okay? So this is to share with you. Don't trust me again. Go research. And one thing, very serious. I'm saying this based on the history, facts, and so forth. But you shall not put down your teacher or bad mouth or talk bad about teacher. Why? Because this is a two different thing. Without your teacher, there's no you. Okay? Again, this part, respect your teacher part. Do you think any teacher really want to screw up intentionally? Who is here? You look back. Nobody want to screw up. Everybody want to do good. But because they don't have the information, they don't have the educations, it's stuck. So we know today what's going on. We can improve, we can help improve. But we don't blame the old generations and don't make them wrong. You cannot expect things when there's no education there. And today we know about it. That's why we need to change. Okay, and change doesn't mean that you break all the old stuff, okay, and then you want to do your own style, like the cultural evolution, which mess the damn thing all completely. No, we want to pick up piece by piece, rebuild it, and improve it. Okay. So this is what my view to share with you today.